Okay, so we all knew this game was going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Did you think it was going to be this good?
No, it sucks. No kidding. No, I had no idea. I've been trying to temper my expectations, my thoughts, everything on it, as low as possible. I wanted to go into it thinking, okay, it's going to be a fun, superhero game, but I
Right.
never expected it to be as entertaining and as just so overall fun to play, as it is. That's not to say that it's perfect by any means, but I think it's super enjoyable and anybody can get into it, including Danny, which actually, now that I think of it, I feel bad because she wanted to play it, but we never had a chance to really sit down and play together.
Right.
But I thought it was super cool. So you had a moment with Evie, I had a moment with Danny, where I'm swinging around late last night, so it's like maybe 10 minutes before she has to go to bed, and I was playing for a minute, and she looks at him like swinging, and all of a sudden I come up, I'm like, hey Danny, look, and she looks up and she goes and she gasps super loud and she goes, oh my god, it's Doctor Strange, and because it's the Sanctum Sanctorum, and she freaks out. She goes, that's so cool, is he in it? And she gets super excited about it, which I think it's entertaining that she's really into Doctor Strange over any other superhero.
I didn't realize a few of these landmarks were in the game. I knew about Doctor Strange, I knew about Avengers Tower. I didn't know like the Embassy of Wakanda was mentioned, as I've seen in our photo contest. Speaking of, let's do a shout out to that real quick, guys. We've seen that you guys are loving the photo mode in Spider-Man PS4. It is one of the most robust photo modes I've ever seen, and it's so well suited to Spider-Man that we felt like we had to do what a lot of other people are doing as well when it comes to their communities. We're doing a photo mode contest on our Discord where you can share your favorite, all your photos, really, just share everything you do, because we're going to look at everything, and we're going to choose the top three, third, second, and first place. Third place is going to get 100 XP, second place is going to get 500 XP, and first place is going to get 1000 XP, and also going to get a $10 PSN card. So go to our Discord, discord.gg/levelupnetwork. In the gaming and entertainment area, you'll find the Spider-Man photo contest, and you can start posting your best photos there for us to look at.
Yep.
Definitely. Yes, I'm too early to really say, for sure how I'm going to feel about it, but I will say that I thought the opening was one of my favorites that I've experienced in quite a while. As far as just like entertainment value goes, like let's to go in a completely different direction. God of War, I thought was an amazing opening for a completely different reason. Like that was so quickly emotionally striking, and I felt like I was so invested in the characters after just 5 minutes, seeing the cremation and the music and the one shot of it all. I love God of War's opening just as much, but in a different way. This was exhilarating and entertaining in a way that I haven't experienced in such a long time. The way that it throws you right into web swinging, and you learn it so quickly, and you feel so badass so quickly. But also that sense of momentum and sense of speed really took me by surprise. Before I was even controlling it, you can see in the clip, I go, oh my god, I'm getting motion sickness, because I seriously felt like, wow, this is throwing me off. Like, this is crazy how much I feel like I am Spider-Man right now.
Yeah.
They nailed it. They absolutely nailed the web swinging.
Yeah, they really did. Everybody talked about how seamless it was, and once you got the hang of it, and this and that. So I wasn't sure if the system was going to be a little more complicated than it was, and I'm glad it wasn't. One of the concerns I had is that everybody says, "Oh, the web swing is better," but like, to me, I've never felt in a game that your traversal has been all that great. The best one to me has been Light's Power in Infamous Second Son.
Right.
Out of any game, that's been the best for world traversal. This is by far, by and large, the absolute best and smoothest traversal I've had in any game. That was, I'm watching your stream, and when you hit that corner on that building was the roughest I've seen. But for the most part, everything just feels so, like, even if you hit a wall.
Yeah, you have a few moments where like you'll hit a snag, but I mean, God, like that's few and far between. And you have to expect that with something as crazy as this, with all the different animations that are going through the system. It's really unbelievable how fluid it is. Just holding down R2 is like hold down R2 for awesome, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much that's all it is. Like, and I found I'm only holding down R2 pretty much all the time.
Yeah, like just running up buildings and then swinging around corners and jump like the way I just jumped off right there. It's just it all happens so fluidly. It's really they spend clearly so much time perfecting the web swinging, and it really it's admirable, and they deserve a lot of credit for what they did here.
I think in the same vein, so I think what I really respect about this game and Insomniac is that they really wanted to pay homage to Spider-Man, to what made the series so great, to what people loved in absolutely every single way possible. So whether you're talking about web swinging, or whether you're talking about design of the city, or how it feels to be Spider-Man, or Easter eggs, or enemies, or the dialogue, whatever it is, they wanted everything in it to feel as Spider-Man as possible, even down to walking around the street and interacting with people as they're here. You just pass the guy flipping a sign, like everything.
That's what I was just going to talk about. Just like, even this, like, look at this. I guess it's a coffee shop or a restaurant. They like individually modeled various restaurants and stores, video game stores, for instance. A lot of people are talking about one that shows a lot of different consoles, made-up consoles that look like Vita or Xbox One. But then this store, it has an interior. It actually has an interior. It's a 2D image, but some of the interiors are modeled in 3D even. A lot of different cars, and I have to say, people were going nuts about about Cyberpunk and the congestion. This feels just as congested, in my opinion, in a lot of ways. Like, look at the amount of NPCs on the side here, all over the place. It really shows to me that I think Cyberpunk is possible, actually, with a few compromises, but. Yeah, I think it's possible. I really do, because they're showing here how congested the city is, and there's car accidents that happen organically. Obviously robberies that happen organically. What's going on here? We got a breakdancing contest going on here. Look at this. Just like walking around, there's a breakdancing contest. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think that like everything is just it's a live living city. It has a very Rockstar feel to where the amount of attention that was given to it. And I respect every single aspect of it. So, like I said, there's a few things that I wasn't 100% in on, but like you said, right from the get-go, it feels like a true piece of Spider-Man lore. It feels like it is embedded in the universe, which it is. This is canon to Spider-Man.
Oh my
you
goodness,
can go down
Mike,
the subway.
Look what I just found. Puddles.
So, oh man,
puddles,
I like how you
puddles everywhere.
I love it. See, there's not enough detail in there. They think they downgraded the puzzles in this. I'm looking at it right
the puddles, I don't know. I feel like they could be a little better. Look at this newspaper. I'm not believing that this is a wet newspaper in a puddle. I'm just not believing it. No, just everything is. This is one of the most visually striking games on PS4, especially on the Pro. I will say the combat hasn't totally clicked with me yet, like the way it clicked with me in Arkham. I'm sure that it will, but it hasn't quite clicked with me the way it did in Arkham.
It's not that it doesn't click with me. It's that I feel like it does as well as it can for a game of this type. I feel like had it tried to do anything more than it is, it would be considered an Arkham clone. You would get too many comparisons to that. And I think for a game like Spider-Man and for a hero like Spider-Man, it actually works in that vein of where, Batman, here's the thing, like Arkham Batman, he has to really be, he has to overthink what he's doing because he's just a normal person. Whereas Spider-Man has so many powers working in his favor that he can really just kind of wing it almost in a way. And that's kind of what you're doing. You can kind of wing everything.
I just took out the Iron Spider stuff. I didn't even mean to. I guess I pressed L3 and R3 at the same time.
That's so funny.
That looks pretty freaking awesome.
They're so badass, especially fighting with those. It's sick. It's so sick. Overall, I mean, this game is super fun. That said, hot take, I'm still feeling like God of War was the better game this year.
I mean, I can't say yet for sure. Obviously, I doubt this will top God of War for me just because of the type of gamer I am. But I mean, obviously, anybody that's really into Spider-Man, this is going to be their game of the year because it just nails it when it comes to Spider-Man. This is what they've been waiting for such a long time. Even as somebody that appreciates Spider-Man, doesn't follow all the comics. I've seen all the movies, of course, and all that, but even I can see like this is nailing
Yeah.
the character in every way. I've watched
absolutely.
story scenes. I've seen enough to know that Insomniac put so much heart, passion into making this the definitive Spider-Man game.
I absolutely agree.
Let me pause for a second here. I want to check out these backpacks I've gotten. Hold on. I want to listen to what
the
what he has to say.
things that they talk about in these are
Let
really
me look. We got a pizza delivery hat first, so let me listen to this.
I thought web swinging would let me get pizzas delivered fast. And it did. Fast and smashed.
Pizza Amigos. It's like brothers or hermanos. What is it? Those Pollos Hermanos from Breaking Bad.
Arm webs. They might help me glide short distances, but they never really worked.
Oh, that's awesome.
Looked cool though.
These are the Under Armour webs.
Right.
Underarm webs, I should say. That's really cool. I'm really liking the backpacks, I have to say. What do you feel about the collectibles in the game?
I think they're perfect. I think that's one of the things. That's what I was talking about with the attention to who Spider-Man is that, you know, for things that they know they're not going to be able to fit into this type of game, they want to at least pay homage to, you know, things that have happened in Spider-Man lore and history, as well as offer some background. So have you gone to Avengers Tower yet?
No, I have not.
So there's a thing that he says, and it kind of brings the question, you know, what's going on with the Avengers, and I think somebody had said that you find out at some point as well, but it's kind of cool, like they pay attention to all of it, like every single little detail that you could want in not only a Spider-Man universe but a Marvel Spider-Man universe that's connected to everything else in its, you know, repertoire. It's just everything is so detailed, from like I think you have Harry's VIP club card. You know, something as simple as that, you would just, you know, be like, what? They think one of the collectibles is a application for his apartment, which is kind of crazy. So like they have so much detail that they
Yeah, it looks like I
those
just
little
found
things.
the classic web shooters. Let's see what Peter has to say about this one. Hold on here.
Hey, my Mark I web shooters. Managed to improve the storage capacity a lot since then, but the basic design's still the same.
That's cool. Mark 1, he calls it. So, just to go with how far I am, the first battle is against Fisk. Cool way to open the game. It gets right into it, right? Have you faced any boss battles other than that yet?
There's another one very early on.
Okay.
So here's what's interesting is that the story missions, not all of them are legitimate story missions. Some take, you know, the typical, you know, 10, you know, plus minutes to go through everything, and the other ones take like a couple minutes, and it's mostly like a cutscene, you know, or a walking cutscene just to build story onto it. At the very least, for what I've played. The first boss that I've actually seen in the game, besides Fisk, the first time I fought it was maybe a 2-minute situation. And it's kind of just, again, it's just building up who's in this and what they're involved in or anything like that. So I would say get on them just because things build up, and from what I've seen, people say like once you get to like Act 2 and even like partway through Act 2, that's where you really want to, if you haven't done everything else, that's really when you want to do it all, because Act 3 kind of ramps up pretty darn quick.
Right. Now, Jersey Tom says, is it perpetually dusk in the game? No, it doesn't have a dynamic time system in the game. It changes based on where you are in the story, in the main campaign. So it's not dynamic.
Yeah,
Okay,
for
so
me,
can you
I think
actually
it's
go in?
nighttime and raining, I believe.
This is obviously like a police. What is it?
Yeah,
It looks like you can't go in though.
No.
Okay. It's marked on the map though, so.
Yeah, it's just marked on the map because you'll need them for later on.
Oh, we got some crime. Let's go show off some combat real quick here. Move it, Spider Jerk, he says. Oh my goodness. Come on now.
So what's cool is, and they do it in the right way, they don't want to limit. So one of the things that I'm 50-50 on, and I'm actually leaning toward it being a positive thing, is how they handle how open the world is. I hate the gatekeeping, but I also love it for a game just because it helps to make the game feel like you're accomplishing something to unlock a new area. Whereas in this, everything's, you know, open right away, but like something like Infamous is, You know, it's walled off until you can get, you know, something done. So I like this in a way because what they do is instead of just making it everything accessible right away, they let you have the entire city, but not all the types of side missions are available. So right now, all you have is the towers and the backpacks. But what you'll get soon, I think pretty quickly, is the Fisk, like bases, I guess you can call them.
Okay.
Where you have to, it's kind of like in Assassin's Creed, like guard towers and stuff, where you have to take down.
Or like Horizon Zero Dawn with the bandit camps.
Yep, absolutely, exactly like that.
I mean, that's kind of open world fare, and that's I think what some people, they're not complaining about, but I think it's why some people didn't rate it higher. Maybe is that it doesn't really bring anything new to the genre. It's just kind of taking all the tropes of open world games and either replicating them or improving upon them. It depends, you know. But I mean, it's their first foray into, first of all, this character, and it's their second foray into open world if you want to count Sunset Overdrive. But Sunset Overdrive isn't near as large as this is or as ambitious. So really, it's their first foray into a big AAA scale open world title. So I expect the second game to be a major improvement.
Right, exactly.
First one.
Rick said it perfectly. Not everything needs to bring something new. This is extremely fun. I enjoy it. It's their version of what an open world game could be. And I'm fine with that. You know, we have so many of these games, you know, not every shooter has to be different. Not every platformer has to be different. There's a lot of platformers, shooters that are just copies of other ones.
Right.
So I'm actually perfectly fine with this as it is right now.
Yeah,
you know,
me too.
everybody's comparing, and I don't, they're not the same game, but comparing to God of War, which is another not only AAA game, but a Sony only game, and one that's very single player focused. I think they did find new ways to do things and add a little bit of their own special spice to it in a slightly better way than maybe this one did. But it's again, it's comparing apples to oranges, still fruit, but completely different reasons. Guys, do me a favor, do not
oh no, you do not. Okay, so this might be my first car chase here. This has never happened before.
These are pretty fun. They're pretty easy too.
Okay, what's going on here?
So you're just trying to follow them, and then eventually you'll see a triangle to jump onto the car, and yeah.
Okay, so we're just following right now. Oh, okay. Can we like attack him?
Yeah, you have to jump out of the ways of.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. That's cool.
But guys, do not post any spoilers or anything like that. I'm sure it wasn't intentional.
Oh, wow.
There was something Dark Side Reaction said wasn't intentional. I'm sure, but it was one of those things where that wasn't seen by anybody, so it was a fun little Easter egg for those of us that didn't know about it, myself included. So just that's all.
Yeah, be careful, guys, with the with anything when it comes to this game. People are very sensitive to spoilers. Okay, so you have to be pretty quick there with catching the car in order to get that. Yeah, that was cool though. That was a cool little dynamic moment that happened.
Yeah, and I like that. It's a fun little thing they're able to do. Again, it makes you feel like there's something, there's other stuff going on.
Like the city is alive, things are happening at all times. Yeah.
But on top of this, I know we're playing Spider-Man, but to kind of change it a little bit, I do want to talk about Battlefield 5 because I've been able to play that.
Yeah, we actually have Battlefield 5 in the level update, so we will definitely talk about Battlefield 5. There's a lot of Battlefield 5 stuff this week, not even just the beta. Let me get to this market here. We're gonna go to this tower, and then we're gonna take a break here and go into some of the show stuff.